Hi, how's it going? I'm Kabir. I'm a patented inventor and entrepreneur, and today I'm going to show you how you can create your very first physical product. If you're an entrepreneur who wants to launch a business, this is for you. If you're a content creator or you have an audience and you want to monetize that audience with a physical product, I can help you too. Let's dive right in. Today, we're going to discuss how to turn ideas into products that pay you, a proven system of execution. This is the framework that I used to commercialize products in food, beverage, industrial supplies, agribusiness, and other markets. Side note, this framework was gifted to me by my mentor, who's a highly successful and gifted entrepreneur, and now I'm going to share it with you. What you'll get if you're an entrepreneur who wants to launch a product, or if you're a creator with an audience. By the way, an audience is not required, but if you're one of these two people, then I'm going to show you how to identify, vet, and get suppliers. I'm going to show you the basic method to protect your idea and the one framework that I use to deliver real world value. Now, here's an important phrase: specifications and requirements, and specifically excluded scope. What I'm not going to cover in this presentation is I'm not going to cover how to sell your product online yet. We're just going to focus on how to bring it to life. So, how do you turn ideas into cash? This is a sketch from a patent application that I submitted. And these are examples of different cash that we got from different products, actually. So this was for the DNA labels. That's what this is. And $14,250 was actually 50% payment upfront from a larger purchase order. And this money funded production of my product before it even existed. Here are some examples of Shopify transfers and some wire transfers. So you know now that I can show you how to create products and turn your ideas into real life money. Now, some housekeeping. Any trademarks mentioned are the property of their owners. This is not get rich quick. No results are guaranteed. I'm not selling you a business opportunity. Nothing herein is legal or financial advice, and I'm not making any claims. This presentation is for information and education purposes only. Now, here are some wins. Right now, I've been working on ready to eat mashed potatoes that are launching in the National Food Banking System through Kickstarter. More on that later. I've recently helped a client launch their product on TikTok Shop. It did 5 figures in about 3 months, and it's a most loved product. This screenshot is actually like 3 or 4 months old, but you can see here they've got nearly 5-star reviews, a lot of them, and we help them do that. Here is Type E marking paste with DNA to forensically identify tampering and fraud. I created this product. Here's another product I created: Type E stickers with DNA to forensically authenticate genuine products. I helped a client launch a coffee brand with in-store and e-com sales. And 5 years ago, I delivered critical sanitizer in hot sauce packets when there was a global shortage of plastic bottles. So I used this skill set to identify opportunity and act fast. Now, at 23 years old, I raised, $1.5 million. Is actually more than that with angel money, but this is venture capital. I was a first-time founder, and I even recruited the guy who invented eHarmony's matching algorithms as my co-founder. I'm a patented inventor in the areas of 3D printing, DNA adhesive, DNA paste, and psychometrics. So you can go on Google Patents. And my previous company's technology, the DNA technology, was granted exclusive EPA guidance for use in agribusiness. So I led this endeavor, and that means I have a limited background in regulatory matters. Now, one of the coolest highlights of my career was being invited to the White House to present my technology, and that was really cool. So, common questions. I have an idea, but how do I execute? Where do I make my product? How do I find a customer? How do I find someone with expertise who can make my product? How do I even protect my idea? Is it worth protecting? Where do I find competent suppliers with quality products? And, should my product be custom or should it be private label? We'll cover all that. These are the questions I hear. And now let's jump right in. So, the mindset you need to have. A product, when you're looking at a physical product, whether it's like, these Type B DNA lacquer or like these stickers, a product is the sum of people and processes. So, who do you need and what do they do? If you can answer those questions, you can create a product. We're going to stick with one product that I've created and I'm going to walk you through it. That's these Type B DNA stickers. And I'm going to walk you through how I invented labels with DNA, adhesive, and I got paid before they were manufactured. So, the idea. I observed that any counterfeit labels have holograms, they have QR codes, they have all this technology and innovation that's on the front of the label. And it's like the Red Queen effect, which is a competition mental model. So counterfeiters were copying the front of the label, and then new labels would come out, and counterfeiters would copy that again. And it was this never ending race. So I asked myself, I said, what if I mix company exclusive DNA in adhesive so if the label is removed, the DNA in the residue that's on an object forensically matches the label when it's tested. By asking this question, and then you bold some of the key phrases, it allows you to know what is your path forward. What are the questions I need answered, and what are the questions I need to ask in order to bring this to life? Company exclusive DNA, adhesive, a label, residue, testing. Those are the major components for this product. So let's reverse engineer this DNA sticker. First, you need to define what you're doing in one sentence. DNA is blended into chemistry that makes the sticky side of the sticker, and then a sticker is created. So you get clarity by visualizing every step of the way. And it is okay to not have all the answers because now you know the gaps. So, breaking it down, we have a label, we have DNA, which you can't see, it's in the adhesive, and we have a contract manufacturer who can make this. So, how did I bring it all together? Well, execution. This one skill, execution, is responsible for nearly all of my success. Scope. What gets done? What are we doing? If you clearly define what you're doing, then it sounds simple and easy, but you know what you need to do. Schedule. By when are we doing what we're doing? And cost. How much will it cost? Execution is what separates you from previous you and everyone else for that matter. Scope. What are we doing? Schedule. When's it getting done? And cost. How much is it going to cost? So, protecting your idea. Now, what I did was I filed a provisional patent myself with the USPTO. That's because I have some familiarity with that process. But what you can do is I sketched this out. I created what was called a provisional patent application and then submitted that. And then, with the help of a competent qualified patent attorney later on down the line, I was able to turn it into this, published patent application. So, how do you find suppliers? Thomas Net. I highly recommend this website. It's where I've found all my suppliers for all my projects. Now, in order to make a DNA label, I found Ascoat, which makes adhesive. I found Tamperco, which makes labels. So I learned after contacting these companies, DNA that I purchased could be shipped to Ascoat, and then they would blend the DNA into adhesive and make bulk rolls of sticker paper. Then those bulk rolls were shipped to Tamperco to be printed and cut into these stickers from these sheets. So I didn't know everything about DNA sequencing, so I found a DNA scientist to help me design the DNA sequences, and I didn't have design skills, so at the time I hired a designer. Fast forward, a few years, now today you can use AI to design graphics, and you can hire a designer to just do the finishing touches on what's called a die line, which is like a template for design, for graphic design. Now, back to scope, schedule, and cost. Now that I knew who was making what, I had to execute. Scope: make and ship DNA to Ascoat. That was going to take this many days at this much cost. Then Ascoat blends DNA into sticky chemistry, coats paper to make bulk rolls, and then schedule and cost. If you look at the framework that this language is written, make and ship. It's not just an activity, it's not just a task, there's a deliverable. DNA was going to be shipped to Ascoat. Ascoat then receives the DNA and blends it into the sticky chemistry adhesive and then coats that paper to make bulk rolls. That was their deliverable. Then the bulk rolls were delivered to Tamperco, who received the bulk rolls and cut them into stickers. That was their deliverable. And then my customer gets the stickers. So you have tasks and you have deliverables. You have start criteria, you have clear completion criteria. If you can write these things out, then you know the exact sequence of steps it's going to take to create a product. So, customer selection, that's in your power. Choose the customers you serve, and then you have a business. Here are the golden questions. What problem am I solving? And in this case, with these labels, products sold online could be fake. Okay, so the second question, who owns this problem that's going to pay me to solve it for them? In this case, e-com brands need customers to trust their products because their products were getting counterfeited. And so then I said, okay, brands might work with us. And also, 3PL, that means third party logistics, could compete and apply stickers for their clients as a service. So, if you've ordered a product online, chances are it came from a distribution center where someone picked it, packed it, and shipped it. And I said, okay, can a 3PL provider during that process use this sticker to guarantee that product sent out from their facility was authentic and genuine? And then could they sell that guarantee as a service to their customers? So, how to find customers? Here's the golden rule: you can get anything you want if you give others what they want. So, call, email, run ads. You can determine the potential market size on Amazon, TikTok Shop, Fastmoss, or Calidata. But, anyways, to find customers, you have to figure out who has this problem and will they pay you to solve the problem, and really understand what dialogue they're having in their head to make a purchasing decision. So you have to demonstrate value. In this case, I called and emailed and I said, I have these stickers. They do something that hasn't been done before. I can make sure that product that's yours is genuine and authentic so that way your customers build trust and value. Would you be interested? Let's talk. And that's how those started. So, what's next for you? Book a free call with me. We'll discuss how to bring your idea to life. And as an outcome, you'll get a basic execution plan for your product. And we'll go over scope, schedule, and cost. So I look forward to speaking with you. Awesome. So that concludes our presentation. And make sure to book your free call now so we can talk about your idea and get you with a basic execution plan of scope, schedule, and cost. Now, space is limited, my time's valuable. It's going to be a quick 15-minute call, and we're just going to go over these basic items and see really if there's potential there for you to make and sell your product online. Thank you very much. I'm Kabir, and I appreciate your time.